Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Today's video is on the Fred Asbell wool anorak. So the first thing I had to ask myself is, what is an anorak? I mean, I've heard it before, but I've never really looked up the definition. And this says here, an anorak is a waterproof jacket, typically with a hood of a kind originally used in polar regions. Well, I don't think I could exactly say that this is waterproof, but this is considered an anorak. I could see this potentially being used in polar regions. This is a 100% wool outerwear garment that is quite warm. Now for me, a couple years ago, I kind of got myself into wool. I was looking for an extremely warm outerwear garment that would basically serve as a means for me to stay warm in all of my activities. And so in doing some research, I came across a nice wool jacket and I instantaneously understood the benefit of wool. And so ever since then, I've been continuing to move forward in my quest for good quality wool outerwear, and this is a result of that. Now, a lot of you have probably seen the Leicester River Boreal shirt. It is a pricey garment. It's beautifully made, but at the same time, it is quite expensive. It was a little bit out of my price range, and so I did a bunch of other research to try to find something that was similar, but a little more affordable, and this is what I came up with. Fred Asbell has a number of different types of garments. In particular, I sort of gravitated towards this anorak for a couple of different reasons. First is it's a looser fit than some of the other garments. Basically, it's a little bit longer, a little bit looser, and so for me to have the ability to put this over some other outerwear was an advantage. Now, I might find that, I wear this standalone. I mean, today I'm wearing a real thin base layer with this on the outside. It's in roughly about the 40-degree Fahrenheit range right now, and I'm quite comfortable. My hands are a little cold, my ears are a little cold, but my body is the ideal temperature. There are a few advantages to wool. First is it has the ability to retain its ability to keep you warm even if it gets wet. Now, as I mentioned before, this is obviously not a waterproof garment. If you're going to wear this out in the rain, you're going to get soaked. But if that does happen, it does still keep the warmth and the value that you need to retain your body heat. And that's an important thing. The other thing that is really good about wool, and what I think, in my opinion, is the probably biggest benefit, is that it has an extreme breathability. Now, right now, there's a little bit of a breeze, and I can actually feel that breeze on my skin. Now, you might say, well, doesn't that make you cold? For me, the answer is no. What that breeze is doing is allowing any of the moisture in my body to wick off and really evaporate off of me, which is keeping my underlayers dry. And that's an extremely important thing to actually staying warm, is to not allow your body to sweat and get all that moisture trapped inside your garment. You know, that was what Gore-Tex was supposed to do, is give you a good, durable outerwear that was both waterproof and breathable. But for me, when I get sweating in one of those Gore-Tex jackets, I sweat and I get wet. It does not breathe the way that I want to. But with a wool outerwear, even if I sweat, I'm never wet. All of that moisture evaporates off of me. And the ironic thing is, even in the wintertime, if I'm getting hot and I'm wearing the wool outerwear, it will actually evaporate off my body, and you'll see all of that crystallize on my shoulders. So, my back and my shoulders will be all kind of crusty and crystally, but that's all the moisture that would have otherwise been trapped inside my garment and actually making me colder. Now, getting back to the details on this anorak, you'll notice first and foremost, it's quite long. It's great for me where, I spend a lot of time outside, maybe I'm sitting down and I just want to have enough warmth, around my sort of midsection here. It does have a shock cord, so if I want to, I can cinch that a little bit tighter. That would be pretty good if you were staying maybe on an overnight and you wanted to use this while you're sleeping to really bundle up and keep your sort of air spaces tight. There are some very spacious and ample deep pockets on the side here. Now, that for me works out pretty well. I mean, I just sort of threw my phone in here, but I don't have any concern of my phone falling out because it's well beneath the cut of this pocket. So it really would be a very, very difficult thing for something to pop out of here. Very ample pockets. Even furthermore, and probably the best feature about this particular Anorak, and this is a big advantage over the Leicester River Boreal shirt, is that there's an upper fleece lined pocket. You'll see here, it's a nice, heavy, ample fleece lined pocket across the chest. It connects all the way through. And when I'm wearing a backpack, this pocket fits between basically the hip belt and the sternum strap. So even while I'm hiking, I can get my hands up and in here and keep them warm. And that, I found, was a great feature. I like the fact that this fleece-lined pocket is further up and almost on my chest. At first it seemed a little bit funny and cumbersome, but I find I spend a lot of time just kind of keeping my hands in here nice and warm, and I like this a lot. Now, one of the drawbacks to this versus the Leicester River Boreal is that the Boreal shirt has a lace system that allows you to cinch the Anorak up around your neck. This does not. It does have a reasonably nice YKK zipper that allows you to zip it up. But again, back to the Boreal shirt where it has basically another piece of wool that fills in here. It's almost like a gusset. And then at the same time, you can cinch the whole thing down. It's kind of an advantage to the other shirt, but at the same time, I didn't let that get in my way in making this a quality purchase for me. Now, another one of the things that I told you about an Anorak by definition is that it has a hood. This is no different. This particular Anorak has a very large hood. There are no drawstrings, and there's no ability to cinch this down anymore. So you kind of get what you get with this. It is a large hood. In that regard, it's a little bit cumbersome, a little bit sort of loose and floppy. I found that the point on the top of it actually kind of works for me in regards to the fact that it almost sits right on the top of my head. I would think that somebody with a slightly different body geometry or shape, it might not work so well. For me, it just happens to work out fine, where this point kind of sits right where I need it to. So when I turn my head, the hood actually moves with me and it doesn't get in the way of my vision. And so for me, this works out pretty well. Now, this Anorak comes in a number of different colors, what they call timber ghost, forest green, olive drab, and I opted for the timber gray. Now, the reason why I went with the timber gray is because they said it actually had a better ability to blend in with more surroundings. And I kind of like to maintain a reasonably stealth and low profile. And so I thought for me to get something that actually had a little bit of a better ability to blend in would be a benefit. And I have so much like olive drab stuff that, you know, I thought for once I'd kind of mix it up. And I found that I really do enjoy this color. This gray is wonderful. It actually is very neutral, and I've been enjoying it very much. So for me, to have this particular color is definitely a plus. So all right, guys, there you have it. The G. Fred Asbell Wool Anorak. You know, in my quest to find good quality wool outerwear, I've been pretty successful. This is no different. This is a great addition to my gear, a great addition to my outerwear. It's something that I look forward to wearing. It's comfortable, it fits me well, it's handmade, quality made. I very much enjoy this, and it's definitely something that I could recommend for you if you're looking for something that's similar. So all right, guys, I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.